Let's welcome our host Sir Alberto Abira aka Tata Bert.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Nandito na naman tayo upang makipagdaldalan o kahingi ng mga opinion ninyo, kamustahan, at kung ano-ano pang para magkaunawaan tayo, magkaintindihan, magbigay ng magandang balita, the pleasantries, and exchanging ideas and motives and resolution if it is needed, and the memories of the yesterdays will always be remembered because it is lasting one when it is good one. So, we are here again requesting your patience, your attendance, possibly your comments, to see to it that at least somebody is listening to me. And I have to acknowledge now the Canadian Pinoy is always diehard helping me on this endeavor. So, I'll try my best to the best that I have little knowledge I can contribute in order to survive in this an hour sweet nothing talks for a while and now and then in pleading you again and again. Your support, your reaction, your contribution, your likes and dislike, and of course, the most important thing is your subscription. That's how we survive. It's each and every one of us. I have received a document here, the Superior Court ruling concerning the 2019 FAMAS general election of its executive board. This was released already almost when was November or earlier than that. Yeah? So I just received only a day or two. I am reluctant actually to discuss this because this might hurt somebody or I might be stepping somebody's shoes. But as a media, I think they owe the right to know whatever happening to the community, the biggest organization here in Montreal. As concerning the election result of the PAMAS Executive Board, I have a court ruling. I'm not sure if I'm holding the right paper, but anyway, whatever I said here is not official because this is subject for verification. Okay. The judgment remodified motion for declaratory judgment and permanent injunction. The overview. The Filipino Association of Montreal Suburbs, which is known as FAMAS, is a non-profit organization which seek to preserve and promote the Filipino culture, heritage, identity, and to serve the local Filipino community. The election of members of executive board takes place every 2 years and mainly opposes members of the two rival parties Team Malaya and Samahang Makabayan or Samahang Team. Judicial challenge against the result of 2017 election failed. The Superior Court dismissed Team Malaya's request that the representative of Samahang Tem elected pursuant to the vote held on August 6, 2017 be removed from office. This is the election between Tabamo and Cesar Manuel. The current president reiterated the result of the elected executive should be failed on August 29. So, pursuant to the constitution and bylaws, the executive board of FAMAS appointed a committee on election or COMELEC to direct and control and resolve complaints relating to the 2019 election. The Team Malaya made numerous complaints to the COMELEC, alleging various violations of the FAMAS rules, regulations, and procedures of FAMAS election rules. The COMELEC concluded to such violation in some instances and rejected allegation in others. Still, the COMELEC concluded that the Samahang Team remained the rightful winner in 2019 election. COMELEC and the Samahang Team, who also are the view that the decision of the COMELEC is in this regard is final. The Board of Trustees rather takes the position that it can oversee the decision of the COMELEC. Wow. And that the Samahang Team should have been disqualified as a result of violation in FAMAS election rules which the COMELEC found. Therefore, the Board of Trustees decided to declare Team Malaya a winner by default of the 2019 election. That is the decision of the Board of Trustees. The decision of the Board of Trustees is at the heart of the present judicial debate. Yeah. Why did the Board of Trustees have to make a decision? So September 1st, 2019, as per FAMAS Constitution, the newly elected Executive Board was to enter the office. However, as a result of divergences summarized above, the transition could not take place. The police was called. Wow. In October 1st, 2019, the FAMAS filed a motion for declaratory judgment praying to the court to declare that the representative Board of Trustees listed in the public record August 28, 2019, who are members of Team Malaya are the duly authorized representative of FAMAS, disqualifying Samahang Team from 2019 election. Declared that the Team Malaya rightful winner of the 2019 election. Declare null and void the appointment of the Board of Trustees made by the Samahang Team. What are we doing here? So, everything was declared already since 2019. Almost 2020 is gone, but nothing changes. I think the public should ask why. But the current position of the FAMAS board who are occupying the space now are in place. Maybe because the so-called team that has to replace them is not making an action. They are not interested, maybe. If they really think they are the rightful owner, they should make a move, go to the office and take the place. But they're not making any moves, so that means they're not interested. I don't know. That's my opinion. We will find that out. In accordance with the safeguard and orders that the issue renewed since then, the parties managed the Bahamas as best as they could, attempting to abide with the principles of power between members of Team Malaya and members of. I think they are doing a good job because the activities is going on and fundraising, especially in extending the help to our and infected calamities in our kababayan. So they are doing a good job. Though maybe transparency is not clear, but we will wait because the event is not over yet. It may be this could be going on, and so there is no conclusion yet. Understandably, the situation is the attainable and rightful winner election must be identified. To that end, the court addresses the following three issues to which answers are indicated below. Are the present proceedings properly filed and pursued on behalf of farmers? Was it? Yes, the answer is yes. They were properly filed in October 2019 with the support of the Board of Trustees at the filing at that time. Since its expiry in September 30, 2020, the mandate of the Board of Trustees is extended until the directors are properly in office. So the Board of Trustees remain because there was no turnover, there was no induction of the new incoming board. So everything is status quo. The Board of Trustees have the authority to nullify the result of 2019 election and to declare Team Malaya as the winner? That is the question. The answer is yes. The Board of Trustees could nullify the, the election result per as prescribed by the Comelec of this infraction during the process of election. Should farmers pay for the cost of professional fees related to proceedings and representation against they made and on behalf of the present case? Sadly, farmers has to shoulder the lawyer's fee. Given the answer to the two proceedings in question, the extrajudicial fees and disbursements related to representation of farmers in the present proceedings will be become by farmers. Sadly, farmers has to incur all these expenses with this misunderstanding of the officers. So, it is very clear now that the court has made a decision. Both parties have given copies of this decision. And for Team Malaya, they have not done their own part. If the Samahan team is still in office because nobody is coming in. If you are a winner and you don't want to take the position, I think Team Malaya, this time Samahan should stay. I agree with that. Because they are existing bodies, no need for the Board of Trustees to intervene because they are properly in function. We don't have any financial report or monthly activities report, but we just assume because of this current situation that no face-to-face activities, but there is always a way if we want to. if we could take advantage of this new methods of communication, utilize it. If you could do it in your purpose and your personal intention, we could also do the same in regard to the farmers organization. Please do that. Try to communicate and make the public know that you are alive, you have your activities, because you could be where you could do the very noble action on behalf of the community, but if nobody knows, so your efforts is non-recognizable because you politician, you only move to be recognized sometimes. I hope I'm mistaken. So I'm a mistake because there are also some noble intention politicians that they are doing it not for publicity but for the good of the community. So I would like to get, since this is Christmas season and today is a very special day, the Immaculation, Immaculate Conception's Day. I, in my case, it's really important and a red letter day on my calendar because the interception of the Immaculate Conception gave a rightful meaning to the heart of my family and the birthday of my godsons that the, December 8th is a holy, blessed day. It is not materially but spiritually, and we have to be thankful for that. So much so for that is more of personal. But I would like to share some of these outcomes. But I have to recognize these flashing names here. Mayan Mapano. Thank you. You are very attentive in listening to this. Oh, okay. Experience is here in tears. Okay. Thank you. You are avid listeners. And Jello also is an avid listener. Why don't you come forward? Say something. Argue with me or supplement me. Whatever you have in mind. Because
Yes.
you are not
Good
just a
evening, Tata Bert.
bystander. I know you're intelligent people. You have something to contribute. You have something to correct. You have something to agree and disagree. Please respond. Jello, I know you're an intelligent guy. Please shout out Tata Bert. What do you mean by that?
Binabati kayo.
Hmm. So, let's continue the discussion, but let's share with me because I want to laugh with you. I have to argue with you. This is a big show because my grandsons and Iloilo and Manila are all responding and laughing with me, but they have nothing to contribute but listen and laugh. So that's good enough for me. And they just inform me. They have enjoy watching me smiling and making incoherent statements. What can I do? I have to fill up the space. I am not professional broadcaster. So let's laugh together, exchange ideas, and maybe if you have something new development over there. One good example, one my friend in Germany called me that he love to listen, though I'm listening to nonsense about the face, looking my wrinkled face is he's already happy. It's good enough. Thank you. Likewise, my children in New Jersey, they are laughing at me because of my stammering statement, but that's what I am. That's the reality. Should I get mad? Of course not. The mere fact that they acknowledge, they love my ugly face, fine. So that's how it is. That is communication. We have to be thankful for this modern techniques that we are enjoying now. In my days, telephone calls, you have to make a schedule. And hardly you could hear and you have to pay a good money for it before you could even contact it. So, as what have said Tata Bert, it seems that what happening during the election is also happening in Montreal.
Tata
Remind you,
Bert,
we're Filipinos. Wherever we are, we still remain as Filipinos. What the Filipinos, the character of Filipinos in Manila or in the Philippines, when they come here, they are still acting as that. So, are you surprised that there were court, the election result has to bring to the court?
Tata Bert.
No. This is the second time already or third time because it's already a habit. Good or bad, but that has to be continued because in the Filipino attitude and during election, there is only one winner. All the rest are being cheated. No loser. So that's why they have money to spend. Anyway, in this case, they are not the one paying. Maybe, I don't know. Because it says yes, it has to be shouldered by farmers. So,
Di ba part kayo ng Board of Trustees?
the Board of Trustees is still in
Sino-sino?
the Board of Trustees is a dead body because they are considered to take over. But since there is no final, no copies, but I know they receive copies because I am a member of the Board of Trustees, but I don't receive copies. So I won't blame the Board of Trustees if headed by someone who doesn't even know how to make the procedure. So for me, I just stay here and watch, and I have to make this comment. Sorry for the members, but if we, as member of the Board of Trustees, we think we care for the association, with the mere fact that this is a controversy and the election, we should step in. But we don't do our work as a Board of Trustees.
So walang meeting na pinatawag ang chairman ng Board of Trustees?
Never. Since, okay, I was out for 6 months, but since I arrived here, not one meeting was held, not even high and low. So they just love to be called member of Board of Trustees, but no action was made. So I'm sorry if I am hurting somebody, but that is the fact. Maybe I'm out of town. Maybe you are communicating each other among yourself, but I was never be included in the meeting if there was one. So that's
So
what
wala kayong update? Wala kayong update ngayon kung anong hakbang ng Board of Trustees na membro naman kayo?
I know I am still a member of the Board of Trustees and I received nothing. Lucky for me that you give me a copy of this ruling because
Paano kayo naging Board of Trustees?
we were appointed by the board,
Sino?
the team of Malaya when they were elected.
Nag-induct ba kayo?
There is no induction, but we were appointed. We have that paper
Meron
in
kayong
hand.
appointed papers?
We have that paper in hand, and we are considered, and we are published, and it was recorded. So it is not a popularity photo of to be publishing and figure, but we, Board of Trustees, are the persons to be at the back and behind, not in front, because our duty will be is an advisory group that will maintain in case and there was a question or mistake being made, and if the member of the board of director will be incapacitated, meaning they cannot act anymore or the failure or me under any circumstances. So that's the only time that we will take over. In this case, when there was a question and the election result, the Board of Trustees are supposed to take over and run the business of farmers, but it never take place. So I think, for me, if the creation of the Board of Trustees is not respected and they cannot make an action, it has to be abolished. Instead, shit, only the board of directors are the one running the farm
So,
the way they want.
bilang isang pioneer at bilang isang matagal nang naka-witness mula na nag-umpisa yang PAMAS na yan, yung PAMAS building na yan.
Yeah.
Now, sa dami ng pera ngayon na lumulutang, sa dami ng pera ngayon na raise, may pera na hawak kayo na anong alam mo dun sa pera na winidraw ng Board of Trustees sa bangko?
Wala akong alam na withdraw because that was never transmitted to me.
Okay. Yung mga pera na hindi na intriga ng past administration, nasaan na yun sila?
The Board of Trustees could only have a record what is given to us. We cannot investigate them because they never ask our opinion. They never consulted us in any case because the Board of Trustees for now is acting as a decoration because they never acted officially, never been consulted, not even there was no even general assembly because that is required in the farmers, but nobody is following that. So you cannot blame farmers themselves because the membership is not acting and not even asking question why, what's that, what's this. So the board of directors could act freely. Because if the membership are curious and interested about farmer, they should ask, what's happening? What's this? What's that? But nobody asks.
So nasaan na itong mga pera ngayon na to? Nasaan na napunta?
Did somebody ask that? Nobody, because it's in good hands. Because if the membership are interested, they should ask the question formally, write a letter, ask why, where, and what.
Hindi naman sila nagpapakita, hindi naman sila nagpapa-interview, lahat ng
No.
mga ex-president.
No. As a member, it is, if you think you care about farmers, ask a question. Because
Ayaw nga
if you
nilang
do not
sumagot
ask
kung nasaan ang mga
you will
pera.
not get an answer. Yes, it is the duty to inform and report all activities that they are doing because they have to make a representation of what we call it transparency. That has every move and every action that they are performing has to be transparent to the community. The community members to know, to acknowledge their good deeds if it is good for the community. So, I could only blame the communities that non-interest of the activities of farmers because nobody asked what is that, why and only now, why, what, when, and where. So, farmers will be doing what it's an advantage.
Anong solusyon ngayon nito? Ano ngayon ang ito bang, anong tinawagan mo ba ang mga miyembro ng Board of Trustees na appointed?
I made an email because you cannot reach them on phone because nobody would like, especially in this case, nobody want to put their hands on it.
May iba pa bang solusyon? Ang miyembro, pwede ba magpatawag ng General Assembly ang mga miyembro para,
yes, of course. Because
para ma-abolish yung trustee na yan?
Really, in the Tim Horton, they can come in and talk freely in the Farmers Hall. But nobody do that.
May power ba ang General Assembly?
Yes, that is the owner of farmers, the General Assembly, the people, the membership are the owner of farmers because money was raised by the people, or led by the directors, and that belongs to the people.
Anong number ng...
They are just caretakers.
Anong number ng General Assembly? Number of people?
As per Constitution, the 60 people will consist the General Assembly.
So ibig mo sabihin, pag nawala na 'tong pandemya, pag ang mga miyembro magkaisa magpatawag ng General Assembly,
Yes, they could make or break in any PAMAS rules. Because even PAMAS executive board will pass a law, make a ruling, it has still to be approved by the General Assembly. That's the final
60
ruling
katao,
body.
60 ka miyembro ng
Yes,
PAMAS.
yeah, as the olden rules of PAMAS, unless revised.
Ano pong alam nyo na last membership ng PAMAS? Palagi kayo doon.
There was a last assembly. The last assembly I could remember was what time of Rida. So, yeah, there was one, and then time of Cora they never had, and time of Caesar we got it total. I never saw unless I'm not in town, but there was if even I'm not in town, but at least there will be minutes. So, but I saw none. So I think that's not too late because the excuse is there because of this pandemic. So, but if other organization could make a meeting online, I think we could also do the same. What is that to be accepted?
Bago tayo magpatuloy, commercial muna, break.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Try Sunfilm. Please subscribe and share.
So, ano ngayon ang magandang hakbang na gagawin para matapos ang pagbubuhat ng PAMAS na to?
I think for the intelligent people membership like FAMAS, everybody is intelligent and they have all the ideas because every time you talk to somebody, dapat ay ganito ang ginawa ng FAMAS, dapat ay ganito ninyo. Dapat ito ay ginawa ninyo. And when he is a member, why ninyo? You are part of it. Why can't you not just say, we have to do it this way if other trials have been done and it didn't work, so why don't we make it another way? You have to speak, involve yourself. No, you are not a director. You are a member, so if you think you are part of it, participate. Put your hand on it, or if your hand on it, you put your mouth on it. Because you love to talk, you love to criticize, you love to make the correction. So, participate, enjoy it. Put your suggestion and ideas and function. Because you cannot just, ito'y dapat ginawa ninyo. No, it's not. Because they are just like you as an observer and willing to get the credit when it's going right. But when it's not going right, ninyo, you are not part of it. Like some other people, anong ginawa ng PAMAS sa akin? But first of all, PAMAS is a collective body. PAMAS could only survive when there is membership at large joining together. But telling the director, this is what you should do. No. Ask the director, what can we improve? What can we participate? What can we suggest? What can we bring? What can we build into? What could we put on hands in order to make the PAMAS building be profitable and useful to the membership? Not just telling the PAMAS, this is ginawa ninyo. You know, they are just volunteers. So, they needed help to every member. Because to realize whatever project It has to be all effort of the membership with the guidance from the board of directors. Let us know that they are not your servant. They are volunteers and they are there to sacrifice sometimes the snow. They have to be in at the center. But lucky that the weather is not that frigid, so it still is okay. But with the climate change, who knows, this winter might last up to March. Everything changed. The, uh, but one thing remained, and when it comes to management, especially where there is the dollar figure sciences involved, that remain. So action will differ,
Kayo
but the
ba'y
result is the same.
kayo ba'y active na isusulong para magkaroon ng General Assembly?
Well, you need active people to voice out and know what they want and put that in writing or make it a vocal. Don't keep it that to yourself. Make it known. So if there will be another 6 people like you, maybe you could already be heard. Present the ideas.
So itong General Assembly, pwede tayo magpatawag ng bagong eleksyon ngayong summer. Kasi null and void daw yung
Yes,
election
because
last year.
actually, this September is really election year already.
Oh, next year. Oh, yeah, this year. This year.
So, we have to, of course, you have to consult, and because you have to follow the bylaws that every 2 years there shall be election. If they will not call, if the Board of Trustees will be reluctant to call election, the General Assembly could call election. Because that is the mandate in the Constitution. So long you could also do if they are adamant or reluctant, the General Assembly has the rightful authority to follow the Constitution if there is no action at the Board of Directors. So it's very simple. So just follow the Constitution. If there is a has to change the Constitution, make the changes and to be approved by the General Assembly. If it's agreeable, so that will become part of the Constitution in violation of powers. It's very simple as that. But who is taking the initiative? Everybody is just watching. It's very lamentable because we old-timers really work hard on this. Well, since 1990. I could remember in early, when I was a president in 1986, the money already accumulated almost 5,000. Yeah, from Norma to myself was 5,000. But because every outgoing president has to turn over the remaining balance of this on the bank to be deposited to the building fund. So it accumulates because let us say, if Cesar Manuel having 2 terms already, if there was a accumulation at least 10,000 or 15,000 every year, so how many presidents passed? But nothing has been deposited to the building fund. How could we expand the building?
Ano yung kinreate ni yung may building funds na kinreate yung presidente na babae
There was already, that is the ongoing project, but some
fund.
president doesn't comply to the requirements. Whatever funds left over, maybe deposited to some accounts. We don't know. We have no proof on that. But the incoming board would say that there is no fund because there was no turnover. But so when the membership will have that, news, they should act and make a question why, where is the membership fund, because they cannot say there is no money because membership at least 3,500 at $5, how much is that? So where is that going? Because that they cannot say that is already is expensive because that is a new fund that is just come in this month. Only this month was came in. That's not allotted to any expenses yet. But it's gone. But does the membership ask where are the money? But so if you are the one holding the money, will you be honest? You are a politician, remember, politician. Tell me,
Pwede
what
ba pwede ba
politician?
na ang General Assembly mag general
Yes,
inquiry like ipatawag lahat itong mga
yes, of course.
yung mga chismis na kagaya ng
Anything.
pera pinautang,
They are
pera
the most
winidraw.
powerful body in the organization of community organization. The most powerful. They are higher than the president. They are higher than the directors.
Pwede bang as a member, pwede bang magsampa ng estapa kaso para sa mga yung nababalita na perang
Yes,
winidraw na
if you
65,000,
qualify
35,000?
yourself as general membership, yes. As a member, you have the right to ask questions. You have the right to scrutinize the banks. You have the right to read the bank deposit and expenses. But it is open. There is no secrecy when it comes to finances of the organization.
Bakit matagal na kami nagtatanong ayaw naman nilang sumagot?
Because one person is not enough. Go yourself into make yourself at least 20, sign it together, you will get the answer. Believe me. Because as an officer, if you have hiding something, possibly you have to ignore and
Kasi sa calculation ko, mga 100,000 yung pera na nandyan sa ere na unaccounted kung saan napunta na sila.
so you have to prove it. So you cannot prove it, ask question.
Yun na nga kasi yung income sa election, nasaan? Yung pera na winidraw ng trustee na sinabi nila in good hands daw, nasaan na ngayon?
So that you will only get a right question when you put that in writing, and if you are gather yourself as a members of the association.
Pero bakit
If
gano'n
you
na
are
lahat
go
ng
there one by one and shouting on the street, nobody will entertain you. But make a formal complaint, you will get an answer. Because Filipino politician, the word politician, so that's quoted. They know how to take care when it comes to funding.
O nga pala si Cura Abe rin, 'di ba nag-start siya ng building fund na nagde-deposit sila ng pera every year doon sa building fund. Lumabas 'yun sa report ng financial statement
Okay. So what's the
Which is-
question?
Ang question, anong alam mo doon? Kasi yung building fund na 'yon, malaking numero na 'yon, ang sabi nila nasa 35 o 65,000. Yun daw
What
winidraw
I know,
ng trustee, which is ikaw, trustee ka. Isa ka sa
what
trustee.
I know is not reliable because I am just one person. But if I have 10 people signing together, you will get action.
10. Kailangan mo ng 10 ng pipirma.
At least to get the action, or at least possibly more than that will be take immediately response for this person concerned.
Paano yung ugali natin na Pilipino na? Huwag na, pabayaan mo na kasi kaibigan mo.
Yes, because we complainant, we just love to file complaint and forget it. No follow-ups. Court needed money. Without the complaint, without nobody will take a, like the policeman. They will only entertain cases if somebody will accuse, will file a complaint, so they will be action will be taken. When no complaint, no action will be taken. Though there was an occurrences of the event, but if there is no complaint, everything goes. It is really nice because you love to talk, but you don't want to get involved. You just want, we people will try to, everything will be doing right. But to involve ourselves, I don't have time. Especially even the directors. Nobody is so attentive after taking their oath to do the duties, but you could hear the complaint that why sir, my position as director, it is not written there. After winning, I still have to work. After winning, why should be? Because to do the work is not even mentioned and the prescription of the duty as a director. So there is an alibi because and they have no time because they don't know that when after election they still have to perform the duties. That is not the part of their agenda because the answer is they don't have time because they have to work because they don't know that they are working because FAMAS is a volunteer work. You run for the director as volunteer. But when you are seated in the office, you don't have time to do your work because you have your own job to perform for your family. So that's always an excuse. But what is the membership are doing? They can make it clear that this is a volunteer work. When you apply your candidates as a volunteer, there is the excuse that you don't have time because you know very well when you are elected as director, you have to fulfill your duties. But the answer is I don't have time because I have to work. So as members, you know the regulation, but what did you do? You didn't even bother modify the constitution that you cannot run if you are working.
Batiin mo si Sunny nanonood.
Yes,
Si Sunny yung
he's
Sunny
laughing.
house father.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Sunny. Please come in if you have something to contribute. Sunny, I'm scouting somebody of your request. When the time comes, we will work together on what you did. Thank you, Sunny. You also call me Tata, but thank you, Sunny. You are one of my godsons already. So, I will make and announce my support to your request when it comes to your aspirants being a member of servant of the community and the council specifically. I will do my best, possibly. So whatever I could contribute, whatever I'll make my request to our community to vote only the right person that they have the heart and consideration when it comes to the needs of our community, which we could always count on you. So, Sunny, could you speak something? Is there any announcement?
Tinatanong niya kung ano daw ma-contribute niya, anong mai-contribute niya.
Your contribution, for now, your presence is a good inspiration when it comes to the community because you are there you have been helping a lot already, especially on the applications of the heritage. You are the resource person that we have relied, and it's very effective. With your intervention, we extended the applications like the Horizon and some seniors event that you have made it impact that being utilized. We seniors in our group, especially the heritage, and hopefully we could extend that to all seniors that who are also in need. But little by little, the funds may not so much appropriate. But when you are in the office, I'm sure everything will be on hand when the need is arises. So hopefully, and good luck. We have to work together. We have to build the foundation, and be visible all the time, because your presence is a good and lasting laughter, and laugh with us, join with us, ridicule with us together, and that is very pleasant to hear your presence and your laughter, that the changing ideas. Maybe sometimes we are getting mad at each other, which is very helpful in society, because if you have not feeling or not being mad or appreciate, we are a robot, but we are human beings. So this feeling arises sometimes, which is very normal for every human being existing in the society. So we are here, like me. For example, I cannot get tired. I don't know because every morning I walk, and when after that, and it's very pleasing and feel refreshed. Walking 3 or 4 blocks, very refreshed, because lying down, watching TV, being old, being 87 years old, sitting down on the sofa, within 5 minutes I am asleep, and after waking up, how much body ache I will suffer. So possibly I avoided that and keep watching and keep cleaning the house, washing, maybe most of the time washing my clothes, scrubbing the floor, and cooking, and making game show and board games on the table just to amuse myself. Actually, I would like to listen to some other people also, exchange ideas. What are you doing? Or uh, what you make your mind busy? Because idle mind, devils will always occupy your idle mind. It will not be good for you. Anything you could be thinking of, you will be spending money which is not yours. You will be wanting something that nobody owns yet. One good example, is there anybody, you could buy a plane, you could buy a luxurious car, you could buy a boat, but you cannot buy, you cannot own a train that you could use from Montreal to New York. That is, I don't know. Hopefully, someday I could see someone like maybe Sunny. Someday you could own a train that you could use it from Montreal to New York. I will be the first one to hatch it. Plus, so that is a dream, and who knows in the future? Because any billionaires could go to the moon, could have their own rockets, could have their own spaceship, but nobody own a train vying Montreal to New York. Hopefully someday would do that.
Okay. Sa balitang Corona 19, may coming na vaccine na next week. Kayo ba'y magpapaturok ng vaccine din? Anong opinion nyo?
I think because so long as it is approved by the government, don't be afraid because that is because the government will not let its people be a practical practice items because these are human beings. They are sure that this is reliable and it is patented and it is approved that is not dangerous because medicines are injected to the body for cure, not for experiment. Because the experiment have been done several times because as a scientist or a chemist or in the laboratory, several tests has to be done over and over before it could be perfected. And it is still has to be approved by reliable scientists that the medicine is safe. So for me, if there is one, I'm willing to volunteer.
Okay.
What do I lose? The continuance of my I will not reach 90. Who cares?
Excited ba kayo na magpabakuna?
No, I'm not excited. But for me, I accept come what may. Because why should I be excited? Because that is a product of the government which we have to follow. And submit ourselves because the government is also taking care of us. So we have to help the government make this a good result, whatever discoveries for the sake of the generations. Why are you afraid? Are you very much special? Are your body more special than anybody else? If Trump could get infected and some secretaries of the Department of the Government could get infected, how are you? What are you? Are you a Superman that you are exempted? So it happens. It happens. You cannot escape it. One good example.
Mhm.
If you are fortunate enough that God will let you know for the next 2 days you will die, what are you going to do? So,
Good answer. Good question.
what's your answer?
Kainin
You
lahat
will
ng
pray.
masasarap.
You think will help? You will eat less. You will jump for joy or what? The answer is whatever you are doing, do it right because that's the will of God. You have no choice.
Okay. So, bago tayo magpaalam, yung shout out sa lahat ng nanonood at nakikinig, yung mga nanonood, shout out sa term yan dito sa YT, sa YouTube. Shout out, ibig
What do you mean?
sabihin, kumusta? Kumusta kayo?
Oh, that's the
Hello.
word. Thank you. At least I'm learning a little by little.
So, pwede mong sabihin na shout out to Sunny. Ganyan.
Shout out to Sunny for thanking me, sir, and you are a sir. So, I think I have to help this new gentleman, new knights, new Maginoo, that they have to practice what is the Rizalian oath and with Rizalian attitude because I have a good respect to those knights that I have initiated because they really learning and practice being a knight. But hopefully the incoming to be initiated will invite me to conduct these things. So for now, shout out Sunny and good night. Thank you for your participation. Your presence is a good inspiration for me that you are there listening to my stammering statement, to my incoherent and back and forth subjects. But I'm glad that that you have the patience listening to me. At least I could contribute some laughter.
don't forget to ask them to subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Okay, the
Bert
last word
Albera.
is thank you. Admit that you have to subscribe, you have to like the activities and support my show for the preservation and the extension of RPM. In this case, thank you again and hopefully see you tomorrow. Good night. Maraming salamat. And tomorrow is another day we'll be seeing again and hearing each other.